Watch Nighttiger Comics!
What you missing?
Watch Tiger Comics!
Okay, one more time.
Follow directions.
Okay, 1, 2.
Watch Nighttiger Comics!
Well, comic book junkies, you ready for your fix again? Got some more eye candy. So if you got a sweet tooth, you're come to the right place. Again, these hauls are all mixed up. I'll try to remember where they came from. I'll try to remember what I paid for them. But we're going to kick this thing off into high gear. We're going to start off with some Fantastic Four. I just picked this one up today. He had 25 on this. Now this is probably a 6.5, maybe a 7.5 if we push it. He had 25. I got him to go down to 13, which I think is right about retail on this thing. But this is the first cameo of, now let me see if I don't mess this up. So this is the first cameo of Omega of the Alpha Primitives. And it's a beautiful Steranko cover. Holy smokes. And he does interiors in this. Roy Thomas writes this. I haven't read it, but my goodness, this thing is going to be a blast. So that's Fantastic Four 131, 1973. We'll see, because up next, yeah, it's 73, is number 134. This is John Buscema on interior and cover, and Roy Thomas on scripts. I picked this up for, I think, like $3. This one's a really nice copy. This is probably, could be a 9.92. I think it has one spine tick. Black cover, but it has a one spine tick. But these Fantastic Four Bronze Ages, man, they're tough to find and really high grade. And I found another one. June 73, number 135. Look at that cover. Another John Buscema cover and interior art. Nice high-grade copy. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, I think these were $1. So okay, I'm remembering. It's all coming back to me, as Celine Dion would say. It's all coming back. I made a deal at my LCS here at Vibranium Comics. A big stack of books. A lot of number ones, some keys, and he hadn't priced everything out, so that's the moment you'd pounce. So as I was going through the stack, and this is a lower grade, but this is a 147, June 74, nice Submariner. But the deal was, he hadn't priced stuff out, so I started grabbing stuff out of the pile of books that he bought and threw me in this pile. There was some keys that were priced. There was a major key that was priced. I think 2 major keys. And it was well over, adding up to probably $150. So I put it all in a big stack, and I told him, what do you think? How about $60 for all this? And he took it. So I was surprised, because the one key in there is probably close to maybe a $70 to $100 book. So it was nice. He always cuts me deals. Love the guy. I was just in there, gave him a big hug. If you go in there and you're in Ocala and you see Austin, go try to make a deal. He's always willing to work with you. So this was one that was in there for $5. I already had this. Spider-Woman number 1. I haven't even read my copy yet. But just a cool, iconic Bronze Age number 1 female character. Jessica Drew and the Origin. This is like a mid-grade copy. I did buy me a VF copy off eBay last year. Another number 1, Stars and Stripes. This is the first, this is the origin of Star Spangled Kid. Courtney Whitmer. Her stepfather was the original Stripesy, and he actually becomes the very first and only adult sidekick in comics in this issue. But if you find number 0, that is the pricey book. That's probably, I think, a $40 book. So be on the lookout for Stars and Stripe number 0. Oh yeah, so these aren't in particular order, but oh my goodness, I won this on an auction, I think for $30. Now this is an L.B. Cole cover. Crime fighting detective. This is like 1952. 51, June. But man, beautiful book. L.B. Cole, another great Golden Age artist. Look at the detail in that cover. I haven't even read this yet. So I was happy to get this. I got it for like $20 under retail. So, oh, I love my Golden Age. Look how beautiful it is. Even the title looks so cool. Thrilling, true-to-life stories of crime. L.B. Cole, what he likes to do when he started Star Publication is he makes these original covers, and they are absolutely gorgeous. But then he takes Fox reprint comics from the early 40s, and he reprints them inside the books, which is pretty smart. A way to keep the cost down and make the book look really appealing. This book was one I was after for quite a while, hoping to find it in a dollar bin. So I got me a nice high 9.8 copy of Miracle Man #1, Alan Moore and Alan Davis on this. I don't know a whole lot about this. I just know that this book was really hot in the 80s. And it kind of catching up on a little bit steam. It's kind of like a cult favorite among comic book collectors. Anything Alan Moore, especially the stuff that he really does good, like this and Swamp Thing. And this was a British superhero, and they retooled it here and did it under Eclipse, brought it into the Americana fold. So I'm happy to get that. I think it's probably averaged around I think these books average like $3 in that lot that I was telling you about. This was another one. Now this book isn't worth a whole lot, but it's definitely hard to find in the wild. This is the very first issue by IDW of G.I. Joe, and this is a Gabriel Dell'Otto variant, #1. And you know, since then they've done quite a few different series, variants, and a whole lot of issues of G.I. Joe. So this is the very first one that IDW did back in 2009. Look at that cover. Oh yeah. All leather, baby. Who's she, a Black Widow wannabe? This was from the Secret Store. I pressed it out. I actually practiced doing some archival spine restoration, so you can barely see the tape, but I taped this spine. It wasn't falling apart, but it was pretty close. So this is my earliest copy of World's Finest, #110 from 1961. And I have not read this yet. I just love these early DC Silver Age, quirky, innocent stories of Batman and Superman and the whole gang. Another, I think I showed it last video. This is one that came in that lot. It's like a $1 book, but these Marvel Presents with the original Guardians of the Galaxy. One of my favorite series because they're one of the very first series that I picked up as a kid. The first Bronze Age series. When I started reading comics, I got hooked on John Byrne's Fantastic Four. So that made me want to go back and discover further older issues of Marvel at the age of 13. And so I picked up some Marvel Greatest Stories with reprints of Fantastic Four. And this Marvel Presents was another one that I picked up. And I have to say, these are Al Milgram's greatest covers in this series. Just look at that, it's so cool. And this is the original Guardians of the Galaxy. Starhawk, Yondu, and the rest of the gang. Astro, I always fans Astro. And there's a couple more. But the old man's mind is not what it used to be. So the major key I shall leave to the end. Pick this up I mean, not by any means an expensive book, just kind of hard to find. The Arrow #1. Then you got the season #2, #1, season 3, #1. So this is the first Arrow TV show in comic books. So happy to get that, put it in the collection, throw it in there, read it, and then pull it out 10 years from now and read it again. I don't know anything about this, but it was another #1, came in that lot. First issue of Spider-Girl. I have to believe this is volume 2. And do not know a thing about this, but it's cool. And it's a comic book. It's a #1, and I want to read it. So the thing is, everything I buy is because I want to read it. Everything I buy is because I want to read it. The Power of Overmind, John Buscema, October 71, Fantastic Four, #115. Nice, cool cover. Love it. Love this early bronze Fantastic Four. And that was another one in the lot. You can see I got quite a few in there for $60. And I haven't even showed you the key. And I think this is, I don't know if this is the last of it, but this is the key right here, people. Bada bing, bada boom. First appearance of Carnage, second print. This is near mint. This is definitely a 9.8 book. And so I got it for average of like $3.50. And this is like a probably $80 to $90 book. And if I CGC slab it, I could probably pull a little bit more money out of that, but I'm not going to do that. Yeah, so I got the first print. I got the second print. I don't need any more prints. Look at that. It's all silver. Silver, and it's not even Silver Age. It's Modern Age. Spidey. Ooh, look at the reds. Look at the reds. Bagley. Bagel. Okay. Golden Age. Let's wait. No, we got some more out of that lot that I missed. Another one. Another #1. Catwoman. Volume 3. #1. So yeah. There's some iconic covers in this series, but they're in the end run of this. Actually, I have to say, this series, the covers weren't all that good. I didn't like pretty much none of them. Up until the late 80s, they were terrible. I mean, look at that. I hate the fact they cut her hair. Selena Kyle has to have long hair. That's part of who she is. That does not look like Selena Kyle to me. But it is what it is. It's a #1, and I own it. And I'm going to read it. Let me see what we got. I picked up another copy of it. I almost picked up a third copy this week. But then I put it back. It was like $3. I'm like, man, what am I going to do with 3 copies of this? It's just the early X-Men. It's John Byrne and Chris. Why can't I remember his last name right now? Anyways, they're doing their X-Men in here in the Power Man and Iron Fist title, number 57 from June 79. This book can go for a little bit of money. If you see this for less than $5 and it's in pretty decent shape, I say pick it up. You can probably flip it. And then we're coming to the last 2 books in this haul. Just a really nice Action Comics, January 1971, number 371. And that's a Neil Adams cover. Pretty cool, pretty cool. So last book in the run, Prize Comics number 64 from July 1946. Just a killer superhero cover with the Black Owl and his sidekicks, who I have no idea who they are, and also has starring Frankenstein the Merry Monster. It's a low-grade copy for $20 though. I'll grab these Prize Comics any day of the week, even if they're falling apart, because they're just so cool and they're so hard to come across. I think I have like 3 or 4 issues of this before it becomes Prize Western. All right, that's all I got. Got a few more hauls coming up for the end of the holidays. Check them out. They'll be on IGTV here on YouTube. And then next year, for the beginning of the year, until we find out what's going on in Copa, they'll be all on IGTV. It's Nighttiger saying happy holidays.